What's up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to review Bel-Air Season 2, Episode 8. So if you haven't seen the 8th episode of Season 2 of Bel-Air, turn this video off, go watch the episode, come back and watch this video. Anything I say, anything I express, they are my thoughts and feelings, does not have any association with anyone or anything on the show. This is just how I feel and my first thoughts when I'm thinking, whatever. Speaking of, I am not a public speaker, so I will tend to stutter, pause. I will say a lot of uhs, like, yeah, I'm just not, like, I'm just talking regular. And I will be reading from my notes over here that I take while I watch the show. Anyway, yeah, last chance. If you haven't seen the 8th episode of Season 2 of Bel-Air, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. Oh, yeah, I will be drinking from my water bottle. My mouth gets super dry. Yeah. Just had to get some of that to get me started. Whew. But yeah, last chance, spoiler alert, about to spoil the whole entire 8th episode of Season 2 of Bel-Air. So if you haven't seen it, turn this video off right now. Yeah, I like to grade the video. I like to grade the episodes before and after my videos. I'm going to grade this episode. I'm going to grade it a C. It didn't really give much. It did put one thing, it did explain one thing for me. But other than that, not too much. So I would definitely probably give it like a C. Sorry, Bel-Air. I'm like, y'all be having some A+ episodes, like that family reunion episode. I fucked with that one. So, but yeah, this one was kind of lackluster for me. It was kind of slow moving. I don't know what to call it. I got a big ass stain on this shirt. But it don't matter because it's the shirt that I sleep in. I just woke up, mind you. That's why I be looking like this in my reviews. Like, I literally be just waking up, brush my teeth, wash my face, then I twist up, and then I sit right here in front of the camera. That's exactly what happens. So it ain't like I'm throwing on something to look good in the camera. This is exactly how I wake up. But anyway, let's get into it. The first scene is, so apparently, Viv must have gotten some backlash for her social media posts from her fellowship, from the fellowship board or whatever. So this first scene is her like writing an apology that she has to submit, or she wants to submit, and she reading it for the family, asking them what do they think. And you know, Jeffrey's like, they should like it, and Ashley's like, I don't know why you should apologize. Like, you don't have to apologize for nothing. These are your actions. Like, you know, little Ashley, she ain't with that. So she like, I don't even know what you apologizing for being yourself, for like for speaking your truth, this, that, and the third. Oh, now when I say Viv is reading it for the family, Carlton, Hillary, and Uncle Phil not down there yet. So it's just Will, Ashley, and Jeffrey. Damn, that's basically not the damn family, but whatever. But Phil comes down immediately after that. He go, Will, oh yeah, I got to go. I got to get to practice. He basically trying to avoid Uncle Phil, because you know him and Uncle Phil had that big blow up last episode. And he was like, Doc had more faith in me than you did with the Founders Award, the third. And you know, Phil was like, well, let's see how you feel after I start paying his checks and all that. So, you know, Will trying to avoid Uncle Phil, and Uncle Phil noticed this, so Will's like, yeah, I gotta roll out. Phil's like, every time I come in, you leave, and every time I leave, you come in, whatever. He's like, how long this gonna keep going on? This, that, and the third. You know, Will, he's stubborn teenager. He's like, we ain't got, we ain't doing nothing. Like, what you talking about? I'm not avoiding, like, basically trying to make it seem like he's not avoiding them. So Phil just get to ultimately, he just like, you know what? I'm just going to let you be your own man. I'm going to stay out your way. I'm not going to help you with anything. Like, just know that I'm here if you need me. But as far as, like, being in your business, I'm going to step to the side. Which I find interesting because he's, like, super into Carlton's business. As he should. That's his son. But it's just like, if Will going to be like a son figure to you, you're going to be a father figure to him, then you need to be on his ass and in his business like you is Carlton. But granted, Carlton is like dealing with anxiety, depression, taking meds and stuff, and Will not. So Will had to be independent from a young age anyway. So That's probably why Phil just felt like, yeah, I'm gonna just let you be your own man. I'm gonna let you decide when you need my help. That's what he tell him. And Will was like, well, yeah, thank you. Like, that's all I needed. That's all I asked for. I just needed a little space to do my thing, this, that, and the third. So Uncle Phil was like, well, you got it. So that had me thinking, like, oh, snap. What does that mean? Like, and then we see at the end of the episode, we'll get into it, but I'd like to go scene for scene, of course. I'm not going to go straight all the way to the end. But yeah, we see why at the end of this episode, he was like, I'm going to let you be your own man. You come to me when you do need help. So they make up, and Viv like, hallelujah, thank Jesus. Like, I hate seeing my boys fight. You know how Viv is. She wanted to be peaceful. So then Carlton come down. You know, Carlton and Will, they still beefing because Carlton think Will leaked that video of Connor saying nigga and all that. So they still beefing about that. So Carlton come down. Will like, yeah, I really do gotta go now. I gotta go. So Viv get that. Oh, come on, you can't. What she say? I wrote it down. Cause she was like, oh yeah, she said, I guess there's no room. She said, I guess there's no room for two reconciliations today, huh? She said that to Will as he leaving. So he's like, cause you just made up with Uncle Phil. I guess you can't. I guess there's no room for two reconciliations. So no reconciliation with Carlton. So Uncle Phil, he like, well, there needs to be an apology. And Carlton's like, you guys are always taking his side. So it's just like, Phil can't stand his parent. I said Phil. Carlton can't stand his parents sometimes. Cause he feel like they always taking Will's side. And it's like, I get it. I get where Carlton's coming from. But it's like, bro, you had them all your life. And you still got them. Will just came along and he's like struggling, going through things. He didn't have a father figure. So like, let him share your parents, nigga. Share your parents. That's your cousin, nigga. Chill out. Fuck. And that's your cousin on your mother's side, so chill the fuck out. That's your blood. Oh yeah, and before Will left, Uncle Phil told Will that that he and Jeffrey was gonna come to his first game today. And what's his first game? But they was coming to his game today. And Viv was like, well, you know, I can't make it because, you know, I'm trying to deal with this backlash, trying to do damage control, this, that, and third. So, you know, Will, he like, I understand that, Viv. So back to Carlton, he was like, you guys are always taking Will's side, this, that, and third. So out of nowhere, Carlton nose started bleeding, but we know why. Like last episode, he started taking the drugs that Connor gave him off the strength. So we know we about to start seeing season 1 Carlton again. So his nose started bleeding, and you know, Uncle Phil, he like, you alright? And you know, Carlton, he like, oh yeah, it's just it's a lot of dry air. And I'll be like, you want me to get you? He's like, no, I'm fine. And then he storms out the kitchen, all frantically and stuff. I'm like, you drawing them on yourself. You drawing them on yourself. If they wasn't suspecting nothing then, they is now. You all antsy, nose bleeding out of nowhere. They suspecting stuff now. So, Will, he working out, I guess, right before practice. Little Jackie, she pop up on him. She get the, I just wanted to, I know I was tripping the other night. I just want to thank you for getting me home safe. And like, I'm sorry I was like tripping, or like basically apologizing and saying thank you for the other night. So Will was like, yeah, you good, whatever. We all have our bad times. He's like, we all got things that we go through. So she was like, yeah, I wanna tell you more about me, basically. He was like, oh yeah, you know, they do the little flirt thing. He pull her clothes, they kiss or whatever. So we see that they still gonna be talking, because that night that she was all drunk and stuff, that kind of turned Will off. So it was kind of like, is Will gonna keep fucking with her? But that was just one night, and he don't know that much about her. So that was just one night. So as we see, I guess he's still gonna fuck with Jackie. So then Doc come in. No, right before that, Will tries to ask Jackie what happened to the player that Will replaced. Because remember last episode, or was the episode before last? I don't remember. But the dude that Will went to the party with, and told Will not to tell Doc that he was out with them when Jackie was drunk and stuff. So he didn't show up to practice. Will was trying to figure out why, and Will ended up taking his place and starting. So he asking Jackie, like, what happened to dude, whatever. So Jackie was like, yeah, it's something with that. She was like, I'm going to tell you when we meet up later. So Will was like, all right, bet. So Doc, he walk up in there. Will like, oh, I got to go. You know, Will don't really want to. Because it's weird because I know that Will knows that Doc knows that he talking to his niece. Will don't want to, I guess Will don't want to, like, be all up on her in front of Doc, but he knows that Doc knows, and I guess it's just like a respect thing. But it's just like, if only he knew Doc sicked her ass on him, basically. And, like, she was a plant for him, basically. I'm waiting for Will to find that out. He is not going to fuck with Jackie. And as we see in this episode, he still has a little feelings for Lisa, so I don't think that's ending neither. So Will he step off when Doc come in there? So Doc get to ask Jackie what was that about? So Jackie get the well, he just excited about starting. That's all. He get the here go Doc. Be careful. Don't say too much. So I'm like, oh, this nigga sneaky. He always saying some stuff to Jackie that make me be like, see, man, this is why I can't trust you. I already don't trust your uncle, but this is why I can't trust your ass. I get that's your family, but this dude he's like, Will is a good dude. So it's just like, don't do that to him. The fuck? So Phil and Jeffrey, they show up to go. They arrived at Will's game. Phil telling Jeffrey, like, you know, I'm so glad your son decided to stay a little longer than he was supposed to. You know, his son tried to leave because he felt away. But Phil kind of talked him into staying a little longer. You know, Phil was like, and I wish he could have stayed longer because ultimately he couldn't stay. He's like, apparently, I guess Jeffrey's son would still be in danger by being around Jeffrey. I don't know. Like, they need to get more, I need more context into why Jeffrey can't see his son as much. Especially now his son is grown. Son like in his 20s. So it's kind of confusing. But I'm assuming it's for safety reasons or something. So Jeffrey, he gets to thanking Phil, like, I want to thank you and Viv for reconnecting me with my son, basically, and all that. And he's like, I know why I can't see my son, this, that, and third. So I'm just like, I don't know why. Like, explain more. Like, I understand a little bit, like, Jeffrey was rolling with some bad people, and this, that, and the third, but I need more context. So Jeffrey get the, I know I've been distracted, this, that, and the third, but I'm back now, 100%. He was like, I'm gonna get stuff done. Phil was like, well, I'm glad to hear it back. So then they cut away to back in the locker room. Doc presenting Will with his jersey. And it's the number 14. So one of the players get to asking Will, like, why you pick the number 14? So he get the, you know, my mother, she had me on the 14th. She had me on the 14th at 414. That was my number in Philly, so it was only right. Doc was like, now you repping it with us. Doc started giving the team pep talk, getting them amped up for the game, then the third. So I was like, okay, cool. We see why he got the number 14. So Hillary all down in the dumps. She all on her phone looking at old text messages. And it's so funny because I used to do shit like that. That's funny as hell. I used to, like my ex or something, I would look at old text messages and stuff. So the fact that she did that, I was like, oh, well, at least I'm not the only girl in the world that do shit like that. Go through a breakup and look at old text messages from when everything was good and stuff. So she going through the text messages between her and Jazz. And her little influencer roommates and stuff, they bust up in there. They calling her boss and stuff. So now that she got this Simply Spike deal, she like, they calling her boss. They coming in like, come on, boss, you got to get up out of your funk. They trying to get up out of her funk, basically. They was like, you usually the one that be up before everybody else, already dressed and ready to conquer the world. You already had breakfast made for us, this and the third. So they was just like, we need that old Hillary back. It was like, we need you to boss up. We need they was like, we need the Hillary that got that Simply Spike deal. It was like, we need to like figure out our next moves and keep this momentum going while we got that deal, this and third. We need you, Hillary. They was like, and plus we hungry as hell. So I was like, they funny as shit coming in there. So they was, and they going through her closet, like, pick one, plaid or whatever. So she was like, I'm gonna pick this skirt. And they was like, yay, come on, Hillary. So I thought that was funny, though, because they was like, and we hungry. I was like, that was their main objective. Like, they ain't, forget all the momentum from the Simply Spike deal. Like, nah, y'all starving. And she used to cook for y'all, apparently. Because, Hillary, I think she started doing, like, the cooking videos in, like, the lingerie. And that's what, like, got Kylo interested in her in the first place, I think. Or was she just doing, like, lingerie? I can't remember. But I think it was cooking in lingerie. Anyway, so they're back in the game, and the game start. It's like back and forth, like team. They making points. AAU making points. What they call Zenith? Yeah, they call it Zenith. Zenith scoring points, and Doc, he getting into it with the ref. You got people yelling out saying that the ref's cheating. All this going on and stuff. And all while this going on, Doc, he keep looking at some dude in the stands, like he nervous and stuff. So I'm wondering, like, oh shit. So first I'm thinking, like, oh, this is somebody that probably Doc trying to like sell Will to, like trying to get Will to like trying to sell Will to this guy. That was my first thought. So where is they at? So Will gets, I don't know if this is the right term, but Will gets, I put Will gets filed. He gets filed because dude like hits him so hard he like flies over. Then the teams, they start getting into it, like fighting or whatever. The refs and the coaches and stuff, they come start breaking it up. Even Uncle Phil, he yelled out something like that was a foul. Or he yelled out something. Some dude in the crowd say something to Uncle Phil, and Jeffrey and Uncle Phil was about to get into it. Jeffrey was like, what you say or something? And dude said something, and that's when Phil was like, that's what I thought. I was like, look at Jeffrey and Uncle Phil about to get active in the stands. I was cracked up. I was like, yeah, I wanted to see that. I was like, yeah, I can only imagine what Jeffrey was going to do because fuck with Phil. Phil probably wouldn't even want to have to do nothing. But Jeffrey probably was about to lay hands on that man. That man said something that like to like avoid the confrontation because Phil was like, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, they about to get the scrapping. But it ain't lead nowhere. So then the teammate, he come up to Will, he like, you good? Will's like, yeah, I'm good. He was like, yeah, so after this free throw, he tell them to play or something like that. So then he gets in his position for his free throw. So he talking trash to the other team. He's like, he say something about I love those dimples on your mother back or something like that, and winks at the other team. And then he shoots the three, he makes it. So then it's like 7 seconds left on the clock, and they running this final play that I think Will suggested or said, and dude shoots, and I don't know if he missed on purpose. I don't really know. I don't really understand basketball that well, even though I used to play a little bit when I was in high school and in middle school. But I don't really know that much about basketball. But like, dude shoots, and Will jumps up and dunks the ball, and they win the game. So everybody clapping, celebrating, cheering, all that stuff. And Doc, he turns and looks back at the guy, and the guy's like smirking and like slow clapping and like backing out of the auditorium or wherever the facility that the game is happening at. So then I'm starting to think like, wait, is this like a bookie? It's like I was like, is Doc making bets on his games and shit? Like that's what I started thinking like then. The way dude was looking after they won the game. So that's what I started thinking then. So this episode, I finally found out, maybe y'all did too, but we finally found out light skin Aunt Viv's name on this show and what her actual position was, because I never knew her position. I was calling her the fellowship. I was calling her Vivian's fellowship advisor, and I was calling her light skin Aunt Viv from the sitcom because that's who she is, and I didn't know her name on this show. I didn't know what her name was on the show. So we get this saying, Viv, she's sitting down with the head of the fellowship board. Her fellowship, the board members or whatever, two of the head board members. I'm assuming they at her Viv's house. So she asks, "Is Janice gonna be here?" So apparently, light skinned Aunt Viv from the sitcom, she's on this show, and her name is Janice. And we're gonna get to her position in a couple of literally a minute or two from now. So she like, "Is Janice gonna be here?" And they say no, we wanted to talk to you in private. So this automatically puts Aunt Viv on edge because, Janice ain't been approving the shit that she been, the way she been moving with her artwork and her artistic brand and stuff like that. So Viv immediately goes into, look, I know my comments were harsh, and they cut her off and was outspoken, and they say some other stuff, and they was the truth hurts or something that's what the truth, something about the truth. And Vivian was like, the truth. So she started to wonder, what you mean? So they was they was telling her, your social media presence has, widened our, what they say? It's opened them up to a wider and a younger audience. And they was and they know that Janice don't agree with some of the stuff that she does and all that, but they said, but they do agree with it. And they was they're free thinkers like she is, this and the third. And they offer her the creative director. No, what is it? They offer her the executive director position. So she gets isn't that Janice's job? So now we found out her job. Well, now I found out. I don't know if y'all knew. I'd be missing shit. I'd be high, whatever. But I thought she was the fellowship advisor. I thought she was Viv's fellowship advisor. That's what I was calling her the whole time. So now I know her name is Janice, and she is the executive director of this fellowship or whatever. So Viv get the ain't that Janice position? And they get the yeah it is, but we what they say? They say they say yeah, but it's time for a change. They if you want the position, it's yours. So it's up to you. So Vivian got a decision to make. I mean, that's a no-brainer. She was tired of working under her anyway. Tired of her always criticizing her work and saying it wasn't good and sending her all her bad reviews and stuff instead of the good one. You don't want somebody like that being your mentor or whatever. So yeah, that should be a no-brainer for Vivian, for Aunt Viv. So as Uncle Phil and Jeffrey are leaving the game, they see Doc in the parking lot talking to the dude that was at the game that he was eyeballing and looking at and all that strange. So Phil's I wonder what that's about. So, Jeffrey 007, he I'll look into it. He's I'll look into it. Jeffrey, I'll look into it. So Carlton, are they at school? They might be at school. I feel it's the only time they see each other. I don't know. But Carlton, he pop up on Lisa. He give her this present. It's this little charm bracelet for swimming, I think. Oh yeah, because she's a swimmer. Yeah, she just taught Will how to swim. It's a swimming charm bracelet, something like that. So she oh, what's the occasion? So, after the situation at the skating ring, not the skating ring, the bowling alley, when Carlton yelled out his diagnosis and all that stuff, and Lisa was there for him, I feel Carlton feels it's a possibility that they get back together. Then they had a little moment when they were sitting in the car. She was you beat his ass though, and then they had that laugh, and then they had that little quick pause, silence. So Carlton probably thinking, oh, we probably, me and Lisa probably getting back to where we was. She not with Will no more, and he willing to be the rebound as we see later on the episode. I'll get to that part. We can see Carlton's willing to be the rebound. So he was I just wanted to show my appreciation. That's why I'm giving you this charm bracelet. I want to show my appreciation for you always being here for me. This, that, and the third. So then he comes in. I'm thinking he about to kiss her on the lips. I'm like, oh, man. She about to turn your dumb ass away. Don't do it, Carlton. But he, like, kisses her on the cheek. But it was still awkward. Even Lisa's face was, like, stiff. Like, oh, didn't see this coming. But, okay, like, we're going to go. We're going to let this go. We're just going to let it happen. So, Phil and his partner of his firm, they... Apparently, it was 3 of them that started the firm together, and one of them passed away due to health issues. So they were throwing this tribute celebration in honor of him. I think they said they throw it every year or something like that since his passing. So Phil asking his partner, he's like, "You think it's a good idea to like have this tribute while we dealing with this situation? Like we just lost our biggest client, and we possibly have to merge with a firm we don't want to, and all that." And the partner just basically like, "Man, this is something we always do, like honor the partner." I mean, they just basically, Phil just has his doubts, but it's still happening. So Will, at school, Will sees Drew talking to Lisa. And mind you, at the end of the last episode, we basically get this reveal that Drew was the one that leaked the video of Connor saying the N-word and Carlton letting him slide. So, and Will like confronted Drew about it, so Will knew this. So Will ain't fucking with Drew, of course. Ain't nobody fucking with Drew after that bowling alley. I mean, I wouldn't. But yeah, wasn't nobody fucking with Drew after the bowling alley thing. I ain't really had no reason not to like him until the bowling alley thing. Because, like, why even come up to Carlton with that bullshit? I mean, I get it. You felt betrayed just like the president girl to BSU. But it's just like, that wasn't the right time. He just got turned down by her. You come up with your bullshit. It was like a pal one. It was just, like, unnecessary. So that's why I stopped fucking with Drew character. But yeah, Will don't fuck with Drew neither. So he see Drew talking to Lisa. He ain't fucking with it, so he immediately goes to Carlton. He like, look, Carlton. He tells Carlton that Drew was the one that leaked the video. And Carlton was like, what? Immediately feeling dumb as hell. Because, like, why would you think Will would do it? Will, that ain't even the type of nigga Will is. Like, like, why would... I don't even know. I didn't know who did it, but I knew my first thought wasn't no damn Will. I thought it was the black BSU girl. That was my first thought. But I didn't even think about it. It had to be a dude because it was in the locker room. But anyway, Will tells Carlton that Drew's the one that leaked the video. And he tells him, like, he just saw Drew and Lisa together. They looking linked up. He's like, you need to talk to Lisa. Tell her what's up. Tell her Drew ain't no good dude for this, that, and the third. So Carlton's like, yeah, I'm going to talk to her. So then you get to Will. Will, man, hey, I know, I'm sorry, man. Trying to apologize. And Will was like, yeah, that don't mean shit. And walks off on his dumb ass. I can't remember if that's exactly what he said, like, they don't mean shit. But he said something that was, like, basically, like, you can go ahead with that bullshit. I don't want to hear it. Like, the fact that you even blame me first, I'm your blood, before blaming any of these other goofy-ass niggas at the school. It was crazy. So, Viv, she talking with her friend, telling her she don't know about if she want to take the position. She feeling guilty taking Janice's job. That's another black woman. Like, I'm feeling guilty. Her friend, like, forget that, man. Like, it's your time. Like I said, like, Janice was always on her ass and, like, doing, like, petty shit and all that. She telling her, like, now you can put your own stuff out there the way you want to, and you can, like, bring out new artists. Like, you can do exactly what you always wanted to do, basically, her friend telling her this. So, then the friend gets to, I mean, I'm down. I mean, I like the friend for this. She was like, yeah, so I heard that Erica's back in town. I forgot her last name, but the one that owns the firm that Phil is thinking about joining or whatever. And we found out this episode she's also Phil's ex. So she get the I heard Erica's in town. You trying to pull up at her house, something like that. Like, basically, like, you ready? We trying to pull up on her? Phil was like, nah, we're not gonna do all that. She was like, I'm gonna let she said something about, I think, did she say something about talking to Erica, to her friend? I can't remember, but ultimately, like, it leads to the friend saying to Vivian, like, see, that's the problem, like, I think she said something about Carlton. I don't remember, but the friend ultimately, like, hears all this and is saying to Viv, like, that's the problem, like, you focusing on everybody else and you ain't focusing on yourself. You need to be focusing on yourself. Basically, like, figure out, like, let's do this. Like, be the executive director and do the damn thing, Viv. So Ashley gets like the little shortest little scenes possible. I mean, I'm here for it, but I feel like Ashley need more scenes. Give little Ashley more scenes, bruh. But we get this scene. So remember the little white girl that kept looking off to, they used to be in the background staring every time Big Ashley would be talking to little Ashley in the classroom and stuff. So we ultimately was like, she the one that told her parents that Big Ashley been giving books to that ain't in the curriculum to students after hours and stuff like that. So she gets paired up with Ashley for a school project, like to build a robot. The robot got to do three things. So they both roll their eyes like, I'm paired with her, I'm paired with her. So we get that little scene. So then we get the scene, I'm like, So Hillary, she meets up with her ex. And it's supposed to be like strictly business, but you know, he's still slightly trying to like take it there, but not take it there in a way to like throw Hillary off. So she just like, yeah, I got a whole bunch of ideas that I would love to, for your marketing team to look over, this, that, and the third. She pulls out a folder. She was like, he pulls out his phone, he get the call. She was like, you're not going to like look at it first? And he's like, nah, anything that you do. You know, he trying to like, he kissing her ass because he want her back. So you seen what episode was that? The family reunion scene when he told Will, like, yeah, I'm just playing goody because I'm trying to get her back, basically. And now she ain't with Jazz, but he don't know that. As we see later, a couple of scenes, probably like, no, I think in this scene. No, not in this scene. A couple of scenes later, we see that he doesn't know that she broke up with Jazz. So he like, yeah, anything that you do, I know is good. So he called him up. He's like, yeah, I need to talk. He called up his marketing team, whatever. Where am I? Okay, so we had this little tribute celebration, and Phil and his partner, they give him like a speech talking about they fallen partner. Talking about how, you know, like, people ain't want to see three black businessmen, like, make it into law, this, that, and the third. Talks about they had to all had to alternate paying each other's mortgages and shit like that just to keep the firm up and running, this, that, and the third. Like, all the struggles and the stuff they did, and they succeeded, and they did it with their brother who passed away. They give him a toast, all that good stuff. So back at school, Carlson sees Drew like holding hands, kissing Lisa and stuff. So he start getting heated. So Drew walk off. And Carlson storms up to Lisa talking about, oh, what was you going to tell me about you and Drew? And Lisa was like, oh, well, you know, people change. Like, he's not the same as he was at the bowling alley, this, that, and the third, trying to like defend him. Carlson was like, he's not the man that you think he is. And Lisa was like, what do you mean by that? Because Will went to Carlton and was like, I need you to tell Lisa about Drew, because she ain't going to believe it from me. She going to think I'm hating. And what Will don't realize, I don't think he realized that Carlton is the same. It's the same thing with Lisa. With Carlton. Even though they're on good terms, she still would feel like Carlton wants her back, so he would say anything about Drew to make her turn off from Drew. So she say, what do you mean by that? Like, he ain't the man I think you is. I think he is. So he tells her that Drew is the one that leaked the video, but of course she don't believe him. So she was like, I apologize if I made you feel like we was anything more than just like friends, if I was leading you on, this, that, and the third. So Carlton was like, no, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry that you were so desperate uh, to get over Will that you're selling for assholes. I was like, oh my god. So Lisa just started backing away and was like, fuck you, Carlton. She said, fuck you, Carlton, just started backing away. I thought that was so funny. He was like, no, I'm sorry. I know he wanted to say bitch so bad. That bitch would have hit so hard. Like, no, I'm sorry, bitch, that you're so desperate to get back. That would have been so funny. If Carlton would have hit that bitch, that shit would have been hilarious. No, I'm sorry, bitch, that you're so desperate that you want to get over Will, that you're dealing with assholes like Drew. That would have been hilarious. But anyway, Carlton, he upset. Lisa ain't believe him. She fucking with Drew, so now he don't feel like he got no chance. He all mind all over the place. He sees some little white girl copping from Connor. He goes to Connor's car. He's like, you still he said something about you still giving out them basically like a free drugs. Connor was like, what happened to fuck off, Connor? What happened to fuck off, Connor? Saying that the Carlton. Yeah. Carlton was like, look, man, like, you know, like, what's up, man? What's up with this shit? So Connor ultimately is like, all right, man, look, follow me. So Carlton hop in his car to follow him. And Drew sees Carlton talking to Connor in the car. I don't know if that means anything, but fuck Drew. Nut ass nigga. So now we got Lisa is on her way to the hospital. Her father's wife is her stepmother. Her stepmother's in labor. And her car is not starting. Will on his way to meet up with Jackie or whatever. And he sees Lisa's car not starting. So he come over there. So, you know, Lisa trying to avoid Will, but she still got feelings for him. She told him that, I think 2 episodes ago. So she like, nah, I'll figure it out. I'll call somebody, this, that, and third. Will's like, you sure, man? And Lisa like, yeah. So then Will steps off. And then Lisa like, damn, I probably should have just asked Will. So right when she's about to ask Will come back over there. He's like, come on, I'll give you a ride. Okay, I guess. Oh, I didn't separate these scenes. I don't know why I didn't separate this particular scene. I was about to say, why did they run into each other like that? Yeah, so that quick little scene, Will offers Lisa the ride. She tries to decline at first, but then ultimately she accepts the ride. So then we go back to Ashley, little Ashley, and we find out the little white girl's name is Olivia, the one that always was peeping when Big Ashley was giving little Ashley books and stuff. So we find out her name is Olivia. So she asks Ashley off jump. First they were talking about the robots, and Ashley was like, I think the robot should do this. And the little white girl, Olivia, was like, I think the robot should do this. So so they not agreeing, of course, because they don't like each other. So Olivia asks Ashley, she's like, so have you talked to her? And Ashley was like, who? So Olivia was like, Mrs. I can't remember her name. So Big Ashley from the sitcom. Ashley from the sitcom. Big Ashley. So she's like, Big Ashley. She didn't say Big Ashley, of course, but, you know, I can't remember all the names. But she's like, have you talked to her? And little Ashley was like, who? And Olivia was like, Big Ashley. And little Ashley was like, why do you care? Like, and Olivia was like, she was my favorite teacher. Fuck. but Ashley was like, but I was sitting there like, Cap, she was your favorite teacher after what you did. So Ashley was on the same type tip. Little Ashley was like, why do you care? She was like, then why'd you snitch on her if she was your favorite teacher? So Olivia was like, I didn't snitch on her. Like, I would never do that. That wasn't me. So that's when Olivia admits that she was like, I was Big Ashley's favorite student until you came along, so I did get a little jealous, but I didn't snitch. Like, I wasn't the one that snitched. So even in this moment, I was like, oh man, I was definitely judging the book by, but she was sneaking in the corner looking and stuff. So shoot, what you think? That's what they wanted us to think. They definitely wanted us to think. But now they got us thinking like, who did snitch? That got me thinking now, like, who did snitch? So she tell her, like, no, I didn't, she said, I didn't snitch. I was jealous, but I didn't snitch. So Ashley was like, oh, damn, like, she apologizes. And Ashley's such a mature young lady. She immediately apologized because she could have just been stubborn about it. Like, well, I did see you looking and stuff. Or she immediately apologized. If the girl say she ain't do it, she ain't do it. And Ashley said she apologized. She said I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. I didn't know the facts. Aaliyah was like, to be honest, like, we both did that. She was like, I thought you was like a stuck up rich girl or whatever. So they both apologized to each other. So it was a nice little sweet moment between these two young little girls. They like had a mature conversation and actually like got to the bottom of it. And then they started to like come to agreements on like the what the robots should do and stuff. They have a little giggle about that. So I was like, that was so lit that happened. But now it got me thinking, like, damn, I definitely judged the book by its covers. I mean, jump to conclusions. So I definitely was in that moment, like, damn, I had to take a step back. But now I'm like, who did snitch? So Connor, he brings Carlton to some random house, and the dude, drug dealer, white dude, he's like, comes out with a tray. He's like, how you want to do it? You want to do it with the needle? You want to snort it? You want to burn it with the spoon? You know, different types of ways he want to do the drugs. So Connor was like, oh, you know, man, we just trying to come cop and roll out. And Carlton was like, nah. I was like, oh, because I thought it was about to be the other way around. I thought Carlton was about to be like, oh no, we just came, and Connor was gonna be like, nah. But it was the other way around. Carlton was like, nah, let's we can stay and party. So I was like, oh Lord, Carlton don't give a fuck right now. Like, he feel like everything. He feel like everybody against him. He feel like he ain't got nobody on his side. Now he feel like he don't got Lisa neither. So he just going through it. So after the little tribute or whatever, so like Phil's partner come up to him. He's like, he basically tell him like, I heard about your offer with the firm from his ex or whatever. And apparently the partner knows who his ex is too. So he so you just he was like, you the part of the reason why we in this position, and you just gonna bail on us, huh? So Phil was like, I ain't made no decisions yet. It's just been an introduction. And so the partner was like, so you're not considering it, right? So it's like a brief little silence, like Phil basically is, and he told Viv this, like, how can I not consider this, basically? So that's when the partner was like, he already knew what it was. He was like, man, congratulations. You just fooled everybody into thinking that you was really for the company. You really cared about this place, all that stuff. And he walks off on him. So it's like, but you was having side little meetings and shit, even though Phil wasn't there, but it's still like you was having side little meetings. If he's still part owner of the firm, like, still you're supposed to keep him involved. He shouldn't have to find out through his butler, aka hitman, whatever you want to call Jeffrey is. But yeah, so Will, he drops Lisa off at their hospital. So Lisa's stepmom is in labor, like I said, and she's telling him like, yeah, once this baby comes, she was like, if she already feel like an outsider, that's not her mom. You know, her mom passed, and she's saying like, this baby comes, she gonna feel more like an outsider in her family. While she telling this, Will gets a text from Jackie because they were supposed to link up. So Will like, damn, like, what am I gonna do? Because, you know, Lisa feeling down or whatever. So Will decides to like stay with Lisa and sit with Lisa. So Viv, she pops up on Erica, the woman who is trying to poach Phil to come work there, and also Phil's ex. She was like, if Phil gonna be working here with you, we're gonna have to come into Jesus moment. And then they go back to Lisa in the hospital. She's telling her dad, like, I'm so sorry, Dad. Like, the car wouldn't start, and I left it and at the school, and if her father like, calm down, it's okay. Like, I'll deal with it. And he was like, this should just be a happy day. Like, we should just focus on. And she was like, yeah, it's a happy day for you and Angela. I guess her stepmom name is Angela. Like, it's a happy day for you and Angela. He's like, no, it's a happy day for all of us. Like, we're a family. You know, Lisa, she was just telling Will, like, she feel like an outsider. So it is what it is. So then we get this scene. Oh, so when Hillary did meet with her ex, the first time, and she was like, I got some marketing ideas. I would like your marketing team to look over, whatever. She was like, I'm just trying to get my feet off the ground, because, you know, Ivy, she out here saying she gonna be the best, and she gonna have her Ivy, her trash ass Ivy 2.0 on the billboards or whatever on Sunset Boulevard. So she told her ex this or whatever. She was like, I'm just trying to get my feet off the ground, like, and do stuff, you know. So now we back at this scene. Hillary, her ex, I can't remember his name. I thought it was gonna be irrelevant. I didn't think he was gonna have so many scenes, episodes. Now he's trying to get back in Hillary's life. It might be working, whatever. But he surprises her with a billboard of herself on Sunset Boulevard, stunting on Abby. Where is Abby? When you seen Abby? So he gets to, you know, professing his love again. He's like, I'm gonna be honest, like, you know, I want you back, and saying I'm not trying to lose you again, this, that, and the third. Hillary she don't give him no yes or no answer about getting back together. She's just like, man, you left me speechless twice, and that's all she's saying. Like, that's not no actual answer. So so I don't know what's gonna happen with that. So then we get this moment that I didn't expect. Because I thought for sure Phil was going to be, like, down to, like, go with Erica and whatever. Which makes the scene right after this pointless. But anyway, Phil tells his partner, he's like, you know what, it's just the two of us. He said, you know, I'm not going to go nowhere. It's just the two of us. He was like, we'll work out the shit with the acquisition. Acquisition? Yeah, acquisition. We'll work out the stuff with the acquisition. He's like, we started this together, just the three of us, and it's just the two of us now. We're going to finish this together. He's like, I'm going to always do what's best for the firm at the end of the day. Telling his partner that. So ultimately, he's staying. That's what I'm hoping he ain't telling his partner some bullshit. So then, this next scene, I feel like is irrelevant now after we just seen Phil tell his partner that he's staying where he at. So Viv, she goes to oh yeah, but I already said, yeah, she went to Erica and she was like, we need to have a coming to Jesus moment. So they go back to Viv and Erica. Aunt Viv and Erica. So Viv asks Erica, I mean, from what she's saying, it's history between them, so I can understand why she would ask this question, but from a business standpoint, no. So Viv asked Erica, she's like, why didn't you come to me with Phil's offer? Like, why didn't you come to me first? I'm assuming, like, before Phil. So I felt like, that was kind of like, I don't know. So Erica was like, we don't like make a habit of getting the spousal approval for our deals, which is like true. That's what I was just saying. But like, as they get to talking, we see that there's history there. So it's just like, she felt like it could have been like a phone call, just like a heads up or something. I mean, I understand both points, both sides of the fence. So Viv was like it was like, she was like, I call bullshit. Like, it's about respect. So yeah, so Viv just feel like it's about respect. It's about history. They have history. So she says, I just lost where I was at. She was like, she tells Erica, like, you the same way you was back in the day. She's like, you doing the same, you having the same patterns. And Erica was like, and Viv says patterns, like, real slick, like, so we getting into the nitty gritty of what was going on with Erica and Phil. So Erica get to, that was a long time ago. So Viv was like, so you're not the same woman that slept with your best friend's boyfriend? So Erica was like, now you know you and Phil was on a break, something like that, when we got involved. And Viv was like, you was my line sister or something like that. Like, that don't make it okay. So Erica was like, Phil thought it was. And I was like, oh, like, that sounded like fighting words. Like, don't do that. Some Phil thought it was. Like, what? I was like, nah, that's when our Viv should have got the sock 'em, rock 'em, knock 'em, whatever you want to call them. Should have got the sock in her ass. Talking about something Phil thought it was. That was crazy to say that in that moment. Where the hell am I? Oh, yeah. So Vil very calm in that moment because I was like, no. But Vil was like, well, we worked through that moment in time. So Erica was like, exactly, y'all worked through it, so like don't even worry about it. She was like, plus it was like on and off again. We was on and off again. We had a different type of a weird type of relationship. So that's when Viv gets the but y'all was on again for a whole 2 years. So like that's a whole 2 years. So Erica was like, well, it don't even matter. Like you know, you got him now and you won. And Viv was like, oh, I know. It's like I'm just here to make sure that you know. And like she said, I'm gonna make sure you know. And she's like, I want to make sure that you don't have another agenda. Like if Phil ends up working with you, I just want to make sure you ain't got no other agenda because I know I won. like I know. Period. Okay. My power couple. Don't play with them. Banks bitches. but so she get to I promise. Me and Phil's relationship is strictly business, and Viv was like, yeah, it better be. Better be bitch. Better be bitch. Don't play with her. Big Viv, not the little one. Don't play with her. so Carlton and they at the drug dealer house. They getting super high, and you know, Carlton he passed out or something. I don't know if it's the next day or if it's like a couple of hours later. But he wake up, the house completely empty. I don't think he didn't have his wallet or his keys. He go outside, his car gone. So he had to call. He calls Aunt Viv. Aunt Viv come pick him up. She looking like, was like, what happened? She asked him like, what happened? So he make up some lie talking about him and Connor had a couple of beers. He talks about how he says he only had like a half beer. And Viv was like, like you can't be doing that, Carlton. Like, what were you thinking? Like, you're on your meds, this, that, and the third. So he was like, he was feeling nauseous, and he started walking around and didn't know where he was, and he forgot where he put his car at, and he said that he left his wallet and his keys in the car, something like that. Something like that. There's a whole bunch of bullshit lies. He was like, man, I just think it's he was like, I really think it's just the meds messing with me. I was just like, this nigga. Like, yeah, it's meds, but not them type of meds, nigga. It's them drugs, shit, that you was just getting fucked up on. So we back at the hospital. Lisa, she's sitting there, she's sitting out there in the waiting room. She ain't in the delivery room with her father and her stepmother. So she thanking Will for like staying there with her. He was like, no problem. I was just, looking out for you. And she was like, you're a good friend. He was like, oh, we good? We friends now? Like, she said we couldn't be friends no more. Well, she couldn't be friends because, she still got feelings. Which is understandable. Like, if you break up with somebody and you feel like you can't just be their friend, you still want to be with them or whatever, and they don't feel the same way, then, yeah, it's understandable. You don't want to be friends at that moment. But in this moment, she's like, he looked out for her, so she's like, you good friend. He's like, oh, we friends now? So they laugh about that. So Will tries to like comfort her. He tells her like, look, it was just me and my mama for a long time, just us two. And now I'm living in this Bel-Air mansion with like 5 other people, whatever. So it took a time to get used to. He was like, you can't help the family that you get. You just gotta accept them for whoever comes to your life, basically, whoever as family. So that puts some thought into Lisa's head. So then her father comes out and announces like he's here. He's like, and the father's still apprehensive because he know that Lisa feeling away, like feel like she feeling ostracized or whatever. So he's like, well, I understand if you don't like want to see the baby right now. So after what Will just said to Lisa feeling like more better. So she's like, yeah, I do want to meet my little brother. She's like, I want to meet my little brother. So she gets up, she walks off to the delivery room. So as Will's like about to leave, Lisa's father stops him and was like, Will, I want to thank you. So Will was like, oh, no problem. I just dropped her off. Lisa's father was like, nah, you did more than that. Like, and thank you. So it was like, no problem. It's like, yeah, you just made her made her think about it from a different perspective. She just got a new family that she just got to get used to and learn to love. get to know, things like that. So Phil and Viv, they talking about Carlton. Vivian just telling Carlton what happened. I mean, I said Phil and Viv talking about Carlton, and Viv is telling Phil about like what just happened with Carlton picking him up. He's saying he was drinking and all that. So Phil immediately you buying all this? Like, you buying this bullshit? So Phil was just like, we don't want to press him. Like, at least he told us the truth. He could have just lied to us. This, that, and the third. So Phil was like, what did Carlton's doctor say? And Phil was like, well, the doctor did say that the meds could be affecting him, and this, that, and the third. It's like the doctor said these episodes can happen when he weans off the meds, this, that, and the third. So you get that part. They get that scene. And then they go out to the kitchen where Jeffrey and Carlton are. And Jeffrey, while Phil and Viv was talking about Carlton's situation, Carlton's sitting in the kitchen and like super hella nervous, and Jeffrey just staring him down. That stare alone from Jeffrey ass had your ass nervous as hell. So Carlton just sitting there nervous as hell. Jeffrey staring him down, pouring him a glass of water. It's hella awkward. But then Aunt Phil and Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil come out there, and Carlton get to like trying to apologize again. Like, I'm so sorry, what do you say? He's like, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have did it, whatever. He tries to like run off to his room. Phil was like, hold up. He's like, we gonna be watching you closer now from now on. Jeffrey chimes in and was like, yeah, all of us. All of us. Shit, if Jeffrey watching your ass, ain't no way you getting away with shit now. So Jeffrey was so he's like, yeah, we're gonna be watching all y'all. We're gonna be watching your ass, Carlton. So Carlton, he stormed off to his room. Viv, she's feeling like, oh, defeated, like, oh man, what we gonna do? And I think she steps off. I think she steps off too. And then Jeffrey was like, hey Phil, before you he was like, Phil, I know you got a lot on your mind right now between the firm and this shit with Carlton now. He was like, but yeah, I got some stuff to tell you about Doc. Got some info on Doc. So I'm like, oh snap. We're about to find out what Doc was talking to that dude about in the parking lot. Because I thought dude was a bookie. Well, in some ways. So will he show up to the facility hella late? Because after Lisa said she wanted to meet her little brother, I think Will got a text message from Jackie, or maybe he responded to a late text message saying still trying to meet up or whatever. So he goes back to the facility to look for some girl that say Jackie left, she went home. So then the player that Will replaced shows up, the one that he went to that party with and was like, don't tell Doc we was with you, And so the one that Will replaced, and Will's starting now, so he took his place. So he shows up. So Will like, what's up, boy? Like, I've been asking about you, where you been at, whatever. So dude like, man, I ain't even, like, I'm just trying to come get my stuff. I don't want no problem. I just want to come get my stuff. So Will was like, what you mean? Like, what you mean? Come get your shit. What you doing? So he was like, so the player looking like apprehensive, like don't really want to say nothing. So that's when Will was like, man, ain't nobody telling me shit. You better tell me something. Like pressing dude, like telling him like, you better tell me something. So that's when the player like, man, he was like, man, look, Doc ain't who you think he is. And then it flashes to Jeffrey. He comes in Carlton's room. Jeffrey, he got on that shit super quick. I don't even know how quick this supposed to be. Was this like supposed to be in a couple of hours or the next day or whatever? But Jeffrey he come in Carlton's room. He like, yeah, we found your car. He was like, it was empty tank and it was filled with sand. So Carlton, he's trying to play it cool, like, I can't remember anything. It must have ended up somewhere, whatever. So Jeffrey say this like specific location. I can't remember the location he says. He says the address or whatever. So he was like, you heard of it? And Carlton was like, like, yeah, it sounds familiar. I don't know, Say, I was lost and That's it. He's like, but thanks, Jeffrey. So he tried to turn around and leave it alone. Jeffrey was like, you know what I found interesting? So Carlton was like, what's that, Jeffrey? So Jeffrey was like, your car was found 10 miles from where your mother picked you up at. And you said you walked like that's a long ass walk. So Carlton still trying to like he's like I don't remember, like I don't remember what exactly happened. Maybe I said something wrong. I don't know, but I don't remember basically. So Jeffrey hands him his little wallet and his keys and like, sooner or later the truth gonna come out. He's like, the truth gonna reveal itself. So I was like, whether you do it, it happens on its own, or Jeffrey do it his damn self. I was like, that's funny. But Jeffrey be on that shit. He be on it quick. He got the shit on Doc like that. Found Carlton's car like that. Now we see what he's saying when he was preoccupied by his son because he wasn't getting shit handled. Like, he be getting shit handled like that. So then we get this final little scene. Apparently, the player that Will replaced done spilled the beans and told Will everything. And apparently, Uncle Phil done got this info from Jeffrey. So Will comes down to Phil's home office. He comes in there like, yeah, can I talk to you, Uncle Phil? He's like, yeah, sure, of course. So he was like, it's about Doc. So he was like, what's up? He was like, so apparently, like, Doc has been taking bribes to steer players to colleges and agents and things like that. So Phil interrupts him and was like, and let me guess, and somebody's now threatening to like expose him or whatever. And Will was like, yeah. So we know now that must be the player that Will replaced. And we know now that Jeffrey must have told Phil this information. So that's when Phil was like, yeah, just sit down, have a seat, Will. Because Will was standing up. So Will looked hella upset. And I mean, I get it. Like, he thought Doc was like a cool coach that understood where he came from, this, that, and the third, was going to thrive, was going to push him to be great and all that. Which he could be, but he still is, at the end of the day, he's shady. And at the end of the day, he probably got shit that Uncle Phil was right. It's like, you a teenager, little nigga. You don't know nothing yet. Uncle Phil just trying to put you up on game. He might not be a street nigga, but he know when motherfuckers trying to get over on people and hoodwink them and stuff. Because he still grew up around that type of stuff, so it's still like stupid. He's still black, so it's like, yeah. But yeah, that was the end of the episode. Like I said, I grade the episode a C. It ain't really give us much. Except for, they did finally tell me who light skin and Viv position was, and they finally gave us a little more insight on what, on Erica and Uncle Phil's relationship. But yeah, my predictions for episodes to come. What's gonna happen with Doc? Is Uncle Phil going to expose him? Is Will gonna leave the team? I think he obligated. He under contract, I think. So what's gonna happen with that? What's gonna happen with Carlton? They're gonna be watching him harder now, so it's gonna be harder for him to get them damn drugs unless he getting them from Connor at school. Oh, he probably gonna be beefing with Connor now. Connor left his ass in that house, took his car and all that shit. Probably emptied out his wallet too. Can't fuck with Connor now. I don't even know why he fucked with Connor from jump. That nigga saying nigga, like, come on. I wonder if Hillary gonna get back with her ex. It's benefiting her, but it's like, would you rather have these benefits or would you rather be happy, like he was with Jazz? But Jazz was too insecure. Like, you got to get over that if you're gonna be with a woman like Hillary. So it's just like, I understood that. I so appreciated that mature moment between Ashley and the little girl Olivia. That was cool. But now I'm like, shit, who snitched on Big Ashley? Now I need to know. And yeah, I can't wait till Lisa finds out that Drew actually did leak the video. She gonna feel like an idiot. And now Will and Carlton ain't gonna want you. I don't know. Carlton might still want her. I don't know, but yeah. And yeah, Viv, take that damn executive director job. Shoot. Do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. Let the words run out. I want to see you be brave. But yeah, and yeah, kudos to Uncle Phil. Staying where you at. Y'all built that. Yo, you and your brothers. Do the damn thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing all that. But yeah, this was a bomb episode. Thanks for watching this video. Please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell if you want to, so you can be alerted to exactly when I post. And yeah, subscribe to my channel because I do review other shows. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.